Well, I am back, and welcome to the Thunder Zone. Tonight's topic, and this is a hard one because I haven't seen a family friend in a while, and I saw them on Monday, and I had to say, I was mad as hell. That's the word I'm going to use today. Sorry, people, if that just ruffles your feathers. And I'm going to explain to you, I'm not going to use any details. I'm not going to tell you their name. I'm not going to go into that because you know what? That's not the most important thing. The subject matter is. When you name yourself a Christian school, shouldn't you represent Christ and not the devil? I want to talk about the Christian schools who act more like Satan than they do Christ. Bullying at a Christian school. Now, I want you to understand this. This is a private Christian school where you pay somewhere up to $35,000 a year. What is that, like a college tuition? You would think after you pay that kind of money, you wouldn't be getting bullying at a Christian school. Well, I guess the devil is in the detail. And let me explain to you what I am talking about. My friend is a lovely woman and her family is awesome. She has 3 awesome daughters. 2 are grown and they are magnificent. And then she has a son. And I'm here to tell you he's going to be a looker, people. Get your hands off the baby. He's going to be something. Well, he is the one that I'm going to be talking about tonight. But I don't want my little one, and she knows who I'm talking about, think that I forgot about her. She is the baby of the bunch, and she is so precious to me. She is the heartbeat of the family, and she is going to be magnificent when she grows up. And I think she knows it. She is darling. But now back to the boy. So I haven't seen my friends in a while. And when I did, this is what was going down. They moved to this town so that their son could have a better education. He wanted to go to this Christian school. Athletics, education, everything was coming up roses. And here goes the problem. Evidently, he was being bullied. Yeah, you heard me, bullied. And when the mother, my friend, went to address this issue with the principal, nothing was done. Over and over, nothing was done. Then I guess she decided she'll take it to the parents of the bullied child. Well, let me explain to you. The parent of that child said nothing, did nothing, wouldn't be nothing. This is where I am totally outraged. Because let me explain something to you folks really quick. There is no bullying in Christ. If you want to be a Christian school, act like one. Act like Christ. If you don't, take the name out and be the Satan that you are. Because that's all that you can be. And this is what I'm going to tell my friend. If they didn't give you your money back, because she pulled her kid from that school and they went someplace else and they're moving someplace else. But understand me, I would turn around and sue the hell out of that school. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if no one stands up to the devil wins every time. And I know people are saying, well, you really shouldn't sue a Christian. They're not Christians. Christians act like Christ. They don't act like the lie from the pit of hell. I'm sorry. If you act like Satan, you talk like Satan, you do everything like Satan, guess what, people? You're Satan. You're not Christ-like at all. And that is it. Okay? So in my technology, my language, I would turn around and sue that school. Let the whole world know what is going on. And to that lovely little mama, oh yeah, I'm sure Christ is so happy with you. I'm sure you're teaching your kid just a perfect thing of love, that agape. I'm sure this kid, now everyone knows what true bullying is all about. It's the little green-eyed monster, jealousy. And with jealousy comes lack of love, lack of everything. Now, I know it must bug you that my friend's son doesn't lack in any of these qualities. He doesn't lack in integrity. And he has a father that supports him, that shows him the way, and they do things. Now, unlike the other family, I can't speak to them, but I know this family, and they give. They are givers, and they do more than that. They get outside their comfort zone, and they go into the community that none of the other people want to go in, like South Central LA or Compton. And you know the black areas, everyone, I'm so afraid. Oh, those areas, the bad areas, they're not afraid to give. They're not afraid to be there. They're not afraid. But this family. This family gives, and God appreciates a giver. And they give out of the goodness of their heart. They don't have to, but they do because they believe. They are believers. And I want them to know that it is time for you to turn around and sue the school. Because I would. I would sue them to let them know this is unacceptable in the eyes of the Lord. And if you don't stand up, then who will? Then I would turn around and sue the parents. Because I guarantee you, they will keep doing this over and over and over. Now, I know you guys don't need the money. So you can actually put the money in a fund to give to whatever charity that you want. That's the kind of people you are. Now, back to the school. I know most people don't understand the Bible, and that's okay. But you do understand Christ. And you do understand the devil is a bully. You do understand that there was the Pharisees that bullied everyone into crucifying Christ. The bullies. Those were the bullies. And you remember what he said, which I thought is so pertinent today, is he said, you are not of me, but you are of the liar, the father of lies. Do you know who the father of lies is? That's Satan. So you got a Christian school that's supposed to be promoting Christianity that's actually doing the opposite. Now, I can imagine you got people going to this school who are not Christians because they're going for either the education or they're going for the football program or whatever they're going for. But you still have to maintain Christianity. You still have to maintain Christ-like. And my question to you is, what answer are you going to give to Christ? Oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm sure that's going to work for you once you meet him. I'm sure when you're waiting at that pearly gates to get in, he's going to say, and my friend, when you were the headmaster of the school and you allowed kids to be bullied, and so that you understand where I'm coming from, this is not the first case that I heard of. There was another case, and I didn't speak on this. And this was a case of another friend of mine, kid who happens to be black. Now, this family is not, but this one is racial at a Christian school. Now, we're not talking about Catholic. No, because I've put articles and articles up about Catholic school, especially when it came to the American Indians and how the Catholic religion came in to the reservation and they didn't ask for permission, took your kids and put them in a boarding school and cut off their hair and changed their look and told them they were no longer to speak their own language, couldn't eat their own food. Do you realize that those kids, when they went home, couldn't even speak to their own parents? How would that make you feel? You gave birth to them, and now you don't even recognize them. You can't even speak to them. Because some religion, because let me tell you, Christ did not die for religion, folks. He died for a personal relationship with you. That's what he died for. He didn't die for Catholic. He didn't die for Christianity. He died so you and me can have a personal one-on-one. We don't need anyone interfering. Remember, the curtain, the veil was ripped from the top down. We don't need someone at the top telling us how to have a relationship with him. Okay? Thank you. Now moving on. Now this kid was a good kid. He was a mild-mannered kid. And I was horrified at what he said they were calling him at this school. Yeah, they used the N-word. Yeah, they used monkey. They used everything. And let me tell you, the teachers did nothing then. And the parents kept their kid there because they still wanted the best education. They worked 2 jobs to get that kid in that school. And they were determined that this kid was going to graduate and move on. And he did. Now, they're not going to talk about it, but I am. Okay? This is where the line is drawn now, baby. See, when you mess with my babies, I'm coming at you with both guns barrel. And I'm not talking about a literally gun either. I'm talking about with all I am. And I'm saying it loud and clear. There will be no more of this. Because if I could, I would tell the name. If I could. But it's not mine to do. But I tell you what, I'm going to be praying against you. I guarantee you that. Now, back to the school. The fact that a school would allow this to go on. A school with the name of Christ in it would allow kids to be bullied. Allow the pressures of peer. Is all this for the right of money? Have money turned this beautiful Christian school into just another ordinary Mayday of heyday schools? You know, when you become a Christian, you're supposed to be set apart. You're supposed to be set apart. You're not supposed to act like the world. You're not the world. You're in the world, but you're not the world. How is it that you can use his name, and act like Satan? I ask you folks, how can that be? And how could it be that no one will stand up for that? How can it be that the parents of a kid, I want you to understand, this father of my friend, he sacrificed driving because where he worked is not close to where he lives. But he wanted his kid to have the best. Isn't that what you do? Isn't that what you do? You sacrifice? He moved here to give that kid a great education. And now they're moving someplace else to give him a fresh start. Now I want to ask you, do you think that's right? Do you honestly think that is right? If I could say one thing to you, bullying is not something that you should be doing, because that will come down on you like a ton of bricks. You know, the sin of the father will revisit the sin of the child. This will come down on you and you will pay for it, because just as he's bullying, someone will bully him. Bullying is nothing more than fear, lack of love, and jealousy. What is it that drives people to be so jealous of another? Is it my friend's appearance? He's a good-looking boy. I grant you that. He has stature. He's tall. He's got a wonderful smile and a disposition. So is it that? Because maybe the other kid is short? I don't know. Does it matter? Does it matter that his parents sacrificed for them to have what they have? Does that matter? What matters is the heart. So I ask you this. Is this really the best you can do? Because I'm asking you, if jealousy is the only thing that is holding you together, get rid of it. It would destroy every part of your life. Why don't you go and ask the Pharisees? Why don't you see what jealousy do when Jesus led to the cross? Jealousy will eat you up alive. You could have no love in your heart when jealousy reigns. Jealousy belongs to Satan. And if you do anything, I want you to look up the word jealousy. And I want you to look it up in the thesaurus. And I want you to look it all the way down and look at the root. You're going to find anxiety and fear and coldness. Is this really the root that you want growing in your son? I don't think so. I think you want your son to have the best that you possibly can. But I think the jealousy is in you, my friend. The friend of the parent that bullied. Jealousy is of you. You are jealous of my friend and her family. That's what this is all over. You could have the same. You don't need to be jealous. Walk the path of great goodness and righteousness, and that will all lead you to the right path to Christ. Now, I got friends who are Jewish, and I understand them as well. And let me tell you, jealousy is over there as well. I've seen it, and it bothers me even when that happens. And jealousy is just evil, people. Doesn't matter if you're Christian or Jewish or you have no faith. Jealousy is just plain evil. Look what jealousy has done. Jealousy has gotten wars. What do you think these countries and other countries want to kill Americans for, or kill America? They're jealous of this country. Don't you see? Jealousy leads to nothing but death. I'm asking you today to get rid of it. I'm asking you today to stop bullying. Show love and compassion. That's the way of the world. And this is the Thunder Zone. And I am ending this with, I love you guys. You are the best family. And I know God is on your side. Your side. Your side.